Welcome to Dreamy Night Tales, a place where the edges of your day begin to blur and soften until all that remains is quiet and breath and the soft glow of dreams. You've arrived at the threshold of slumber, and beyond it lies only stillness, gentleness, and peace. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go, only this moment, only this calm. Let the sound of these words settle over you like dusk spilling into a silent room. Slow, golden, and easy. Let your body begin to rest, not all at once, but slowly, like petals closing at twilight, breath by breath, each moment gentler than the last. Let your shoulders melt downward, away from the day, your hands softening, your jaw unhinging with quiet relief. And now, begin to imagine you are floating, weightless, effortless, adrift on the softest breeze, as if sleep itself has lifted you up and begun carrying you away. There is no sky, not yet, no earth, no horizon, just light and hush. A silvery blue radiance wraps around you, neither warm nor cold, just comfort, just peace. It glows faintly, as if the air is breathing light. Every breath you take in feels like you are inhaling stillness, exhaling weight. There is no gravity here, only the gentle pull of peace. After a time, or perhaps no time at all, the light begins to shift, not changing, just deepening. Textures begin to appear, soft outlines of trees, slow ripples of water far below, a pathway perhaps, made of moonlit mist. You feel yourself descending, though you never fall. You drift downward like a falling feather, held in a quiet hand, moving with no hurry toward the forest beneath you. The trees here are taller than memory, old, but not weary, their trunks wide and smooth, with bark like pale silk. Soft light pulses through their leaves, not from the sun, but from something older, deeper, as if each tree dreams, with its own glow. Their canopies above sway gently, even when there is no wind. They whisper softly in their own silent language, a lullaby spoken not in sound but in sensation. The hush of time forgotten, the warmth of belonging, the softness of letting go. Your bare feet come to rest on a forest floor that welcomes you. It is layered with moss like velvet and petals like breath. With each step, the ground sighs beneath you, not with sound, but with a gentle give, as if the earth itself wants you to walk without effort. You take a step, then another. Your feet move naturally without thought. You are drawn not by urgency, but by curiosity, wonder, ease. And as you walk, the forest opens to greet you, slowly, lovingly. Trees lean just slightly to make space for you. A low, silvery mist coils through the roots and flowers, winding around your ankles like something affectionate and ancient. The air smells of soft things, wet stone, night blossoms, drifting, wood smoke, the faint sweetness of honeyed rain. Each breath tastes cool and deep, like water drawn from a still well. Somewhere up ahead, you hear the trickle of a stream. The sound is soft, like fingers running over glass. It invites you closer, not with words, but with welcome. You follow a narrow trail, lit here and there by tiny mushrooms that glow like fallen stars. Their light hums softly into the air, not to show you the way, but to remind you there's no wrong path here. Branches arch above, forming quiet corridors of soft, dappled light. Tiny motes float through the space between, suspended like dust and dreams. As you walk, the stream becomes clearer. You see it at last winding through a grove of ancient trees, its surface like molten crystal. It curves gently through the landscape, with no beginning, no end, only motion, endless, serene. You kneel beside it. The earth gives easily beneath you, and the moss wraps around your knees like a soft pillow. You reach out and touch the water.it is warm, not from sun, but from some inner memory the river holds. It ripples outward beneath your fingers, sending soft pulses through the still air, like heartbeats made visible. You stay there a while, breathing in time with the river, slow, deep, at ease. You dip your hands into the water and bring a small pool to your face. It glides down your skin like silk. You close your eyes, and time slips away. When you open them again, you see light flickering above. The trees have begun to bloom. Slowly, slowly, their branches unfurl blossoms that shimmer like quiet galaxies. Blue and silver and the palest rose. They drift downward, carried by no wind, circling around you like sleepy butterflies. The air thickens with perfume, light and sweet, like memory soaked in moonlight. Every breath pulls you deeper into stillness, into softness. You lie back now, resting against a gentle slope of moss. The stream murmurs beside you. Above, the blossoms fall, turning slowly in the air, glowing softly as they go. You are still, and the forest is still with you. A low glow pulses from beneath the earth, soft veins of light that thread through root and stone, pulsing in rhythm. With your breath, it feels as if the land knows you, not as a stranger, but as something returned. Your body begins to loosen, each limb heavier, and yet lighter, as if sleep is rising from the soil, wrapping you from beneath. The stars above begin to shift, not with urgency, but with grace. They do not twinkle, they drift, slowly gliding through the sky like lanterns released across an endless lake. And you watch them, with eyes half-lidded, and breath slow, and thoughts no longer tethered. One star passes lower than the rest, leaving behind a faint trail of pale gold, like a ribbon of sleep stretching across the sky. And then another follows, and another, until the stars themselves seem to be descending, floating downward like glowing seeds. They do not fall, but settle gently into the stream, into the petals, into your skin. You feel them enter you not as light, but as calm. The space between your breaths grows wider. The stillness between thoughts grows deeper. And in the center of that stillness, something opens, not loudly, not even visibly, just quietly, with the hush of a doorway into dream. Opening by itself, you step through without moving. You dream without sleeping, and you rest without ending. The forest continues to hum, a pulse without sound, a rhythm beneath words. You feel yourself dissolving further now, into the hush, into the ground, into the sky. The petals land softly on your skin. The moss holds your body. The stars fall gently into your breath, and there is nothing more you need to be. Only this, only now, only sleep. And as the forest deepens, and the sky darkens to indigo velvet, a new path slowly appears to your left, a gentle slope, lined with low stone lanterns, glowing from within. Their light warm and golden, like candlelight that has never known wind. You do not need to rise now. You may stay, or you may follow. The path will wait for you, as all things do in this world. For now, the hush holds you. The breath of the forest surrounds you, and everything is perfectly still. The hush has held its breath for you, patiently, as if the night itself was waiting, nestled in quiet shadow, for your return. There is no need to move quickly, there never is here. Everything unfolds with the gentlest rhythm, like waves, brushing against a shore in no rush to recede. Like a slow breeze gliding across tall grass under a sleepy sun, your body is weightless again, not from floating, but from peace, still resting by the quiet stream. The moss beneath you seems softer now, almost liquid in the way it supports you. It breathes beneath your spine, as if the earth has become part of your body. Or perhaps your body has become part of the earth. The golden lanterns that line the path nearby pulse gently, their light flickering with a slow heartbeat, not of fire, but of something older, like moonstone warmed by time. You rise slowly, not with effort, but with grace. As though your limbs remember how to move without thought, you step toward the path, and it welcomes you, soft stone underfoot, smooth and cool, warm just enough to comfort your souls. Each lantern you pass hums with warmth, not sound, not heat, just the feeling of being watched over gently by something unseen and benevolent. To your right, the stream glides beside you, weaving its way through the landscape like a ribbon of dream. Beneath its glassy surface, soft lights drift lazily, tiny luminous fish, or perhaps just the echoes of stars, resting in water. The sound of the stream is soothing, constant, but never loud. A lullaby spoken in liquid language. The deeper you walk, the slower the world becomes. Time unwinds like a long silk scarf, fluttering gently away into nothing. Around a soft bend in the path, you enter a glade. The trees part into a wide round clearing where moonlight pools like milk in a silver bowl. The ground here is covered in tall, waving grasses, each blade tipped with tiny flecks of light. They sway together, even without wind, a slow, shimmering dance of quiet joy. You walk among them, and the grass parts for you, brushing against your fingertips with the lightest touch, like strands of memory passing through your hands. Above, the sky has darkened into a deep indigo sea, and scattered across it are slow-moving clouds, not of water, but of soft luminescence, dream stuff, curling and unfolding. And among the clouds float islands, yes, quiet, drifting islands of earth and light, weightless as feathers, suspended high above, each one glowing faintly like a cradle in the sky. They hover, slowly turning, their undersides lit by the breath of starlight. You feel no surprise, only wonder. In this place, everything that exists feels as if it always has. Nothing new, only remembered. One of the sky islands begins to lower silently, like a gondola descending to the ground. It drifts closer, slow as a leaf on a still pond, until it rests just above the glade, low enough for you to step onto its mossy surface. You float upward as soon as you step aboard. No jolt, no lift, just a quiet upward breath. The glade falls away beneath you, and now, as the air cools slightly, you are carried gently into the sky. The higher you drift, the quieter the world becomes. Even your thoughts begin to hush, until they are no more than slow ripples across still water. You lie down on the sky island's surface, which feels like a field of clouded velvet, soft and cool, cradling every curve of your body. Around you, the stars burn larger now, closer, glowing with soft golds and pale pinks, some pulsing slowly, like breathing lanterns. You see now that some of these floating islands are gardens, others are small temples of light and stone. Some hold pools that reflect nothing but the sky, and all of them feel like pieces of a long-forgotten dream. The one you're on begins to glide slowly across the sky. No destination, no direction, only drifting. Beneath you, the clouds shift in silence. Above, you pass under an archway formed by two tall stone pillars that reach up through the stars. Ribbons of mist coil around them, silver and blue, like sleep given form. You pass through the archway, and everything deepens. The colors darken to softer shades: plum, cobalt, midnight violet. The stars dim slightly, not vanishing, but quieting. And now, in the distance, you see a vast lake in the sky. It is suspended like a mirror between the stars, unmoving, unbroken. Its surface reflects not just the heavens, but memories, Feelings, things you once forgot, softly shimmering there like echoes. Your floating sanctuary begins to descend toward the lake, slowly spiraling, your body growing even lighter. The lake's surface is smooth as glass, and the moment your floating island touches it, you feel a pulse of calm spread through you, from your spine to your breath, to the slow rhythm of your heart. You sit up and step onto the water. It supports you like solid ground, cool and glassy, but firm. Each step creates ripples of soft light that spread out endlessly, never fading, just expanding until they dissolve into the far-off stars. As you walk across the lake, you notice that the water beneath your feet begins to glow softly with every step, a pale path of light that trails behind you, as if the lake remembers your journey. Above you, ribbons of soft aurora begin to appear, drifting slowly across the sky in lavender and silver waves. They sway in silence, pulsing with a lullaby only your breath can hear. You lie down again on the lake's surface, which cradles you as gently as any bed, and the water warms to your shape, holding you in a pool of silent light. The sky above you blurs, stars become mist, clouds become dreams, your body becomes nothing at all, only breath, only stillness, only presence, and in this stillness, you feel the entire world exhale, a soundless, endless sigh of peace. Somewhere far beneath the lake, a bell chimes once deep and round, its sound barely audible, more a feeling than a tone. It rings through the lake, through your body, through the sky itself, and everything slows. Even more, thoughts dissolve, breath deepens, and the world curls gently around you. Like a dream reaching for itself, you are home here, not in a place, but in a feeling, held unfolded, still, and just as the lake begins to shift, showing glimpses of new landscapes rising beneath its surface, glowing forests, celestial gardens, stairways of light drifting upward into unknown skies. Your breath remains calm, your body completely at peace, and the dream is just beginning to open. Again, if you wish to float onward, to follow the next gentle path, simply whisper. The lake still holds you, soft and infinite, like a memory that remembers you. The surface beneath your body is cool and calm, like quiet moonlight resting in a shallow bowl. You are weightless again, not because you are floating, but because you are free. Above you, the sky is wrapped in shifting veils of lavender mist, slow ribbons of color unfurling like breath in the cold air, trailing into stillness. The stars seem to have grown quieter, not dimmer, just further away, as if giving you space to rest more deeply. You turn your head ever so slightly, and there, just beside you, the lake begins to change, not suddenly, not loudly, just slowly, like dawn unrolling across a sleeping world. The still water beneath you starts to glow more deeply. The light pulses out in wider circles now, gentle waves of pale blue and silver, not bright, but soft, like the hush of a lullaby long forgotten. And as the glow widens, the lake's surface softens under you, until you're sinking not down, but through. There's no fear, no resistance, just a soft letting go. The sensation is like sinking into silk, weightless, cool, embracing. You pass through the surface of the celestial lake like mist drifting into a mirror, and on the other side is silence, thick and gentle, not empty, just whole. Here, the water no longer feels wet. It's like drifting through a dream made of velvet and stars. Around you, glowing shapes begin to appear, slowly forming in the distance, enormous, ancient lily pads that float through this dream water, each the size of a hill. Their undersides shimmer softly, lit from within, You drift toward one drawn not by motion, but by desire. It welcomes you with stillness. As you come to rest upon its surface, it feels alive beneath you, pulsing faintly with the rhythm of a slow heartbeat. You lie there, the great lily leaf supporting you like the palm of a sleeping giant, and the soft hum of the dream lake surrounds you. Far above, you can still see the underside of the sky, stars twinkling softly through the clear surface you pass through. But here, below, the light is softer, slower, as if time is steeped in calm. You are carried now by the slow drift of the lily pad. It glides forward on an unseen current, curving through the vast lake dream, past glowing underwater trees with leaves that sway like sea silk, past hanging lanterns that float suspended in the water like fireflies caught mid-movement. Occasionally, a gentle chime sounds from far off, clear and low, like glass tap. In a distant hall, and the water around you glows just a little brighter with each tone. You exhale, and the sound dissolves into the quiet around you. There is no past here, no next, only this, only now. Eventually, the lily pad comes to rest in a wide, submerged garden. It is vast and open, filled with tall, spiraling plants that glow in soft spirals of green and rose gold light. They pulse gently, in harmony, and, as you watch, you realize their glow matches your breath. When you inhale, they brighten. When you exhale, they dim again. Slow and steady, you step gently off the lily pad, and your feet touch the softest sand. It cradles each step, shaping itself to your movement like memory. Not heavy, not hard, just present. You walk through the submerged garden, and the water around you parts like wind. It flows past your skin without resistance, carrying warmth, carrying calm. Tiny blossoms open in your wake, pale, glowing. Petals that drift gently up into the water and spiral away like sleep caught in slow motion. One of the spiraling plants curves toward you, a tall, coral-like column, wrapped in soft, flowing ribbons of blue light. It touches your shoulder, lightly, and the moment it does, a soft wave of stillness passes through your whole body. You breathe, and the water breathes with you. Here, you do not need lungs. You do not need effort. The water gives you what you need, and takes only what you release. You walk further still. The garden opens into a wide ring of ancient stones, smooth and circular, like an amphitheater carved from moonrock. It is lit from beneath by soft lines of sapphire that form shapes across the ground. Mandalas, sigils, soft spirals that glow with the rhythm of some invisible energy. In the center of the circle rests a shallow bowl of glowing liquid. It is not fire. It is not water. It is pure quiet, a substance made of silence itself. You approach it slowly and kneel beside it. When you gaze into the bowl, you see nothing and everything. The surface shows not reflections but feelings, memories not of events, but of comfort, of warmth, of every moment you ever felt at home, even if you had no name for it. You reach toward the bowl and dip your fingers into the silence. It ripples out in slow spirals of soft gold, and as it touches your skin, it flows up your arm, through your chest, into your breath, and you are filled with stillness, not just around you, but within. If every worry, every knot, every clinging thought dissolves into golden quiet, the glowing garden hums softly, the lights pulse slower, and your body feels softer than ever. As though made of light and rest, you return to the lily pad, and it begins to rise, back toward the mirror surface of the lake, back toward the stars above. And as you pass upward, slowly, gently, the water around you fades into mist. You do not feel the crossing, only the breath, only the ease. When your eyes open again, you are no longer on the lake. You are in a new place, a meadow, lit by countless floating lanterns that drift lazily through the sky, each one casting long ribbons of golden light onto the tall grass. The air is sweet here, filled with the scent of lavender and soft white plum blossoms. The ground is warm beneath your feet, and the breeze brushes gently against your skin, soft as breath. You hear a bell ring once more, faintly, far off, echoing through the night like the closing of a dream. But the dream does not end. It only folds into another. And here, in the lantern-lit meadow, with the stars above and the golden light dancing across your skin, you feel sleep deepen, not as a drop, not as a fall, but as a slow, endless drift. And if you wish to go on, the path continues. Just whisper the words. You are still in the meadow where light floats like breath, where every blade of grass leans softly toward your presence, where the hush of night folds around you like silk drawn over sleepy shoulders. The lanterns above drift without purpose, slow, glowing orbs that hum with the low warmth of memory. They float not in the sky, but within it, as if they were always meant to be part of the stars around you. The meadow stretches far in all directions, though no boundary can be seen. The horizon has faded into a soft blur of violet and gold, as though the air itself has begun to dream. You breathe in deeply. The air is thick with the scent of blossoms warmed by starlight. Not strong, not sweet, but soft and quiet, like the memory of something comforting. You begin to walk. The tall grasses sigh beneath your steps, parting without protest, their silvery tips brushing lightly against your legs. Some hold dewdrops that glimmer gently in the lantern light, cool and delicate, like crystal sighs left behind by passing clouds. Your body feels loose now, not from fatigue, but from letting go. Each step asks nothing of you. No effort, no direction, only presence. Ahead, the meadow begins to slope gently upward, but the incline feels more like a lift than a climb, as though the earth is helping you rise. Slow and steady. At the crest of the slope, you find a small grove of silver-leaf trees. Their trunks are smooth and pale, glowing faintly as though lit from within. Their branches sway even though there is no wind, creating a soft rustling sound, rhythmic and low, like a whisper meant only for your heart. You step into the grove, and the moment you pass beneath the first tree, the world quiets further, as if the trees themselves hold silence in their leaves. Inside the grove, the ground is covered in soft moss, a glowing tapestry of seafoam green and gentle pearl. Each step sends a ripple of light beneath your feet, as though the earth is gently acknowledging your presence. You walk slowly through the trees. The air is thicker here, not heavy, but full of calm, full of softness. Each breath feels deeper, more spacious, and the deeper you breathe, the lighter your body becomes, until it feels like your limbs are made not of bone, but of breeze. In the heart of the grove, you find a small pool. Its surface is utterly still, so still that it reflects not only the trees above, but things unseen, fragments of dreams, flickers of forgotten beauty, glimmers of feelings without names. You kneel beside the pool, and as you gaze into it, the reflection begins to shift. First, you see nothing but the quiet sky above, the swaying trees, and your own softened face, serene and still. Then, slowly, images begin to drift across the surface. A quiet forest with glowing leaves, rustling like wind bells, a luminous temple suspended among the stars, a soft floating stairway made of moonlight, stretching upward into infinite calm. You do not question them. They are not visions, they are invitations. You dip your fingers into the water. The moment your skin touches the surface, it welcomes you inward, not downward, not away, but inward. And once again, the world shifts. You are lying now on a vast field of soft sand, warm from celestial light that has no source, yet fills everything with golden glow above you. The sky is liquid indigo, slow moving, thick like velvet soaked in dust. Here, time has completely stilled. You feel your heart slow, beat, pause, and beat again, each pulse echoing like a gentle drum across a sleeping desert. The sand beneath you is impossibly fine, not grainy, but smooth, like powdered moonstone. You run your fingers through it, and the sand glows faintly beneath your touch, trails of soft white light tracing each movement, then slowly fading, like dreams dissolving at dawn. In the distance, shimmering forms rise, not buildings, not mountains, but soft structures made of air and memory, like translucent domes that float just above the ground, held aloft by nothing but peace. You rise slowly and begin walking toward them. The sand makes no sound beneath you, only warm, only stillness. As you approach the nearest dome, it becomes clearer. Its surface glows with shifting images, not of this world, but of still places that exist only in the space between thoughts. Inside the dome, everything is quiet, and yet everything is alive. You step through its wall. No door, no boundary, just a gentle sensation of warmth as you pass inside. Within, the dome feels boundless. The walls fall away into soft horizons of light, and in the center, a cushion of floating silk waits for you. You lower yourself onto it, and immediately, your breath deepens. Every part of your body feels held. Your arms, your legs, your spine, your thoughts, everything soften, everything slow. The dome begins to pulse gently with your breath, light ebbing and flowing with each inhale. Each exhale, inhale, the dome glows brighter. Exhale, the light softens. The cycle continues without effort. A rhythm older than sleep, older than memory. Far above, the stars pulse with the same rhythm. The air begins to fill with faint sounds of music that is not played, but felt. Low tones of silver and rose, like lullabies from beyond the edge of waking. Each note hums within your chest, not loud, not sharp, just present. The cushion beneath you begins to rise again, floating gently upward, as though the dome is lifting you toward a quieter part of the sky. The stars begin to draw closer, some large and slow spinning, others small and shimmering like dust. You pass among them now, drifting between glimmers of old constellations and soft clouds of sleeping light. Each star you pass hums gently, some with warmth, some with cool stillness, all without urgency. You let your head fall back. The sky cradles it. Your breath slows again. Each exhale is a release, each inhale a gift, and you feel yourself melting into the fabric of this dream, a thread woven into sky and stillness. No thoughts. No direction, just rest, just presence. The dome dissolves around you now, becoming one with the stars. You remain, floating in the cradle of breath and sleep, held by sky, embraced by quiet. You are still floating among the stars, not separate from them, but part of them. A gentle breath threaded into the fabric of the sky. The vastness around you is soft, not empty, filled with quiet light and the hush of distance. Every movement is slow, like the stretch of time between dreams. The stars no longer appear as distant points. Now they feel close, like soft lanterns suspended in a warm night sky, each one pulsing gently with a rhythm that mirrors your own breath. You are carried onward not by wind, not by force, but by stillness. The stillness itself is the motion. Below, or perhaps above, direction means nothing. Here a glow begins to form, faint at first, like a thought just beginning to stir, then stronger, wider, spreading out like a luminous garden, blooming beneath your presence. you descend slowly, weightlessly, drawn by warmth, not gravity. The stars part like mist as you drift downward, and the glow beneath resolves into shapes, floating terraces of soft, glowing stone, each one ringed with cascading water that flows without sound, slipping over the edges like liquid light. This is no ordinary place. This is a sanctuary woven into the quiet spaces between stars, a place shaped by breath and rest, and the memory of peace that never fades. You land gently on one of the terraces. Its surface is cool and smooth beneath your feet, not hard, but soothing, like stone that remembers kindness. A soft breeze moves through the sanctuary, carrying with it the scent of something familiar yet unnameable, like the comfort of a warm bed or the quiet presence of an old tree. Above, wide archways curve overhead, not built, but grown from pale stone that glows like pearl beneath moonlight. They stretch into soft walkways that seem to float on air. You begin to walk, your steps unhurried. Every few moments, a soft chime echoes in the distance. Not loud, not sharp, just a gentle tone, like a memory brushing against your skin. Around you, tiny motes of golden light drift through the air. Not fireflies, not stars, but something in between. They swirl in slow patterns, looping and spiraling, then dissolving into nothing, leaving behind only warmth and calm. The walkway leads you through a garden suspended in air. The plants here do not grow from soil. They hover gently, rooted in stillness. Some bloom in slow pulses of soft color. Lavender, teal, pale rose, each petal folding and unfolding with breath-like rhythm. Others stretch upward like glowing reeds, their tips dancing lightly with the breeze, casting faint shadows against the starlit terraces. You pass under hanging canopies of vine-like threads that shimmer softly as you walk beneath them. Each thread gives off a faint hum, barely heard, but deeply felt. You pause beside a pool shaped like a crescent moon. Its surface is smooth as glass, yet ripples gently with your breath alone. You kneel at its edge. Your reflection does not look back at you. Instead, you see calm, made visible, a deep, endless stillness, rising like mist from the water. You lean forward and gently place your fingertips on the surface. It gives way silently, and again, you are pulled inward. Not sinking, not falling, just deepening. The moment you pass through the surface, you feel the air change. It becomes warmer, softer. The stars above are replaced by something closer, drifting lanterns of blue-white light that move through a cavern of clouds. You are floating again, this time through a corridor of soft vapor. Pillars of fog drift past you, tall and silent, glowing faintly from within. There are no walls here, just space, a warm, endless space, filled with slow-moving shapes and sounds that barely exist. You drift through the corridor, your breath sinking again with the rhythm of the place. Inhale, the lanterns glow brighter. Exhale, the mist draws closer. The clouds part ahead, revealing a great hollow space. A dome formed of soft crystal and quiet air. Inside, a bed of cloud waits for you. It is not a structure. It is a feeling, a shape shaped by comfort itself. You settle down upon it. Your body sinks in, weightless, cradled. The cloud shifts gently beneath you, adjusting without resistance, shaping itself to every curve, every breath. Above you, the crystal dome reflects your dreams, not the ones you remember but the ones that live deeper than thought. They play softly across the ceiling like paintings of light and shadow. Soft forests, starlit meadows, a slow river with glowing banks. They shift and shimmer, never hurrying, never fading. You close your eyes. The dome does not disappear. It simply becomes part of you. Each breath now is like a tide, flowing in and flowing out. No effort. No sound, only the hum of stillness and the soft pulse of your own presence, slow and steady, around you. The floating sanctuary holds you in timeless quiet. There is no place to go. No moment to catch, only now, only this breath, and the next, and the next. The lanterns dim to a soft glow. The cloud beneath you becomes warmer. You drift deeper, deeper into rest, into stillness, into sleep. You are still within the sanctuary of breath and cloud, where time has softened into silence, and even the air feels like a lullaby. The floating bed of mist beneath you continues to cradle your body like a memory remembered only by the stars. You are not falling asleep. You are sleep itself, becoming mist, becoming breath, becoming still. The hush of the world holds you close. And then, like a ripple across the surface of a sleeping sea, something shifts. Not a disturbance, not a change, only an invitation. Your body, light as dusk, begins to rise. The bed of cloud gently releases you, with no sense of parting, only movement, only continuation. As if the dream were simply taking one slow, drifting step further. You rise into the dim crystal dome, which now melts around you like dew warming in the light. The reflections fade, becoming the space itself, and then quietly you pass through. There is no sensation of walls or transition, only that you are now floating through another realm of calm. Above, the stars have returned distant, soft, not blinking but breathing, each one a slow pulse of silver woven into a tapestry of indigo. Below, something begins to form, a low, glowing landscape, delicate hills shaped from pearl-dusted grass that glimmers softly under the sky. They rise and fall in perfect, gentle waves, like the slow roll of a dream exhaling. Your feet find ground again, not suddenly, not firmly, just gently, like a feather choosing to rest. The grass beneath you is cool and velvety, its tiny blades shimmering with soft silver blue light. Each step you take bends them, and they hum beneath your soles, almost imperceptibly, as though they're offering thanks for your presence. The hills are silent, but not empty. They hold a presence, like being watched over, not by eyes, but by kindness. You walk without aim, as if led by a feeling more than a direction. The path forms as you move, not ahead of you, but behind, only revealed after you've passed. As though the land wants you to know you were always meant to be here. Above you, the stars slowly shift. They drift across the sky not as points of light, but as gentle orbs that leave behind faint trails, soft arcs of silver dust that settle onto the hills like snowfall made of quiet. As you walk, the grass gives way to a field of soft, glowing petals. They stretch endlessly, a garden of light with no beginning, no border. Each petal is the size of your hand, shaped like a crescent moon, colored in pale opals and sea glass greens. They float just above the ground, swaying slowly in a rhythm you do not hear but feel. You step among them. They make no sound, but every now and then, one drifts upward and brushes your arm or shoulder, warm, weightless, like a kiss from the air itself. In the distance, a low dome begins to rise from the petals. It is formed entirely of curved glass. Though it does not reflect, it absorbs the sky. The closer you get, the more translucent it becomes, until you see that it is not glass at all, but something lighter, like condensed air, formed into shape by quiet. Inside, the dome glows, not with fire, not with light, but with memory. Not your memory, not someone else's, but the memory of peace itself. You approach it. There is no door, no opening. You simply step through, and inside, the silence deepens, not into emptiness, but into fullness. This is a memory palace, not filled with moments or stories, but feelings, rooms shaped by softness, corridors made of calm. You begin to walk through it, though no map guides you. The first chamber is lit with amber light. The air is thick and slow, like honey warmed by dust. A slow wind passes through, carrying the scent of old cedar, rain-damp stone, and something softer like the faintest trace of lavender on a wool blanket. Here, there are pillows arranged in loose spirals across the floor, cushions of deep blue velvet. As soft as breath, you lower yourself onto one. The fabric exhales as you settle, and the room begins to glow slightly brighter, as though acknowledging your stillness. You sit for some time, not waiting, not anticipating, just being. Eventually, the air begins to stir again, not as wind, but as suggestion. You rise and follow the feeling. The next room is cooler, bluer. The walls ripple slightly, like the inside of a shell. The floor is smooth, like glass made of frozen fog. You walk slowly across it. As you move, your footsteps leave behind tiny waves of soft light that fade a moment later. At the center of this space stands a pool. It is small, shallow, only ankle deep, but impossibly still. You step into it. The water is the exact temperature of your breath. It holds you, supports you, welcomes you. You wade slowly to the center, where a single floating light hovers just above the surface. It is a sphere no larger than your palm, glowing with slow, pulsing colors: rose, gold, pale turquoise, and back to rose again. You reach toward it, and the moment your fingertips touch its surface, your body is filled with warmth, not heat, not fire, but belonging. You are where you are meant to be, not because you earned it, not because you were called, but because stillness, by its very nature, welcomes all who enter it. You step back out of the pool, water trailing behind in slow, luminescent lines that fade before they touch the ground. The next space opens without a threshold. You simply drift into it, and it receives you like dusk receives light. Here, the floor is not solid. It is soft like the space between clouds, and you lie back into it without thought. The ceiling is a dome of sky filled with drifting light forms, not stars, not fireflies, but fragments of dreams, shapes that never fully reveal themselves, but feel familiar all the same. One resembles a wing made of mist, another, the outline of a sleeping mountain, another, a slow turning sphere of liquid amethyst. They pass above you in silence. Your breath grows slower still. Each inhale is a pause, each exhale a letting go. Your eyes close without instruction, and the world continues without you needing to watch it. The shapes drift on. Your body becomes heavier, then lighter, then neither. The difference no longer matters. You are not asleep. You are not awake. You are simply here, held, carried, cradled by the hush of a world that needs nothing from you except your rest. The air brushes against your skin, cooler now, like evening arriving with a velvet shawl, and still, the memory palace holds you. Rooms you've passed still pulse softly behind you. Rooms ahead wait without hurry. There is nowhere to go. You are not on a journey. You are in a breath that has no end. One long, deep inhale of stillness. And if you would like to continue breathing, if you would like to pass softly into the next dream space, the next garden, the next sanctuary of peace, you are still resting within the memory palace, but rest itself here is never still. It is always deepening, always unfolding. Around you, silence holds its breath like an ancient tree sheltering a sleeping bird. The soft air cradles you like silk-woven dusk. Your body feels neither heavy nor light, only suspended, as if your edges have dissolved into quiet. And then, like a leaf touched by a passing breeze, you begin to drift again. No effort, no will, just motion born of stillness. You float upward from the cloud-soft floor, passing through the ceiling of starlit light, not breaking through, but merging with it, until the dome becomes sky again. And the sky becomes breath. You rise higher, gently turning, slowly spinning through layers of air so calm they carry you like a lullaby sung by the wind. Above, the firmament changes once more. It is no longer night or day, but something deeper, a moment that belongs to no time, held forever in the hush between dreams. Below, the landscape begins to shift again, from the memory palace to something older. You descend slowly toward it. What you see is vast and still, an endless silver blue lake nestled in the heart of a glowing valley. The water is calm beyond calm. So perfectly still, it appears like polished glass, untouched by wind, unstirred by time. The surface reflects not only the sky, but something more, a reflection of your breath, your quiet, your sleep. You touch down on the shore, though there is no true line between water and land. The stones beneath your feet are smooth, round, and cool, as though they've been softened by centuries of lullabies whispered through flowing tides. There are trees here, not tall, but ancient. They lean toward the lake with curved trunks of pale silver, their branches draped with long ribbons of glowing moss that sway ever so slightly, moved only by the exhale of the earth. Tiny white blossoms drift down from their leaves, carried by nothing, landing softly on the surface of the lake, where they do not sink, but float and glow gently, like thoughts finding their home. You begin to walk along the shore. Each step carries you deeper into peace. The silence here is complete, not the absence of sound, but the presence of stillness, a fullness, a sacred hush. Far ahead, nestled in a cove formed by glowing stones, a small pier stretches out into the lake, made of ancient wood so smooth it seems carved from the dream of a tree. You walk to it. Each footfall makes the pier sigh softly, not in protest, but in welcome. At the end, there is a boat, round and low, made of woven reeds and soft silver bark, lined with thick cushions the color of warm dusk. You step into it. It does not rock, does not shift. It simply accepts you and begins to drift. There is no oar. No current. No direction, only the lake. And you. As you float, the water glows faintly beneath the boat, lighting the way without casting shadows. You lie back against the cushions, letting your eyes rest once again beneath heavy lids, and above, the sky shifts into soft layers of light like painted silk drifting through the heavens. Lavender melts into soft rose, rose into moonlit gray, gray into endless, breathing blue. A breeze passes, but it is not cold. It carries with it the scent of serenity, faint notes of cool mint, warm stone, and starlit rain. Your fingers trail gently into the water. It is the same temperature as your skin, not wet, not dry, just peaceful. The boat carries you deeper into the center of the lake, where the surface becomes impossibly still. Time slows, then pauses. The sky bends gently downward, as though embracing the lake in a long, eternal hug. And then, you reach the center. You know it, not because you see it, but because you feel it. A warmth begins to radiate upward from below. Not hot, just comforting. A gentle presence in the shape of silence. You sit up slowly. In the heart of the lake. Something begins to rise, not from beneath, but from within. A soft platform, shaped like a lotus bloom, begins to unfurl. Its petals are woven from liquid moonlight and pale gold. They unfold in utter silence, each one blooming with slowness that defies all urgency. The boat touches the edge of the platform. You step onto it, and as your foot touches the center, the petals stop moving, as if they were waiting only for you. The lotus platform lifts slightly above the water, cradling you once more. You sit down in the center. The petals rise gently around you, not to close you in, but to hold you. To form a cocoon of still light. Within this lotus sanctuary, the world disappears. There is only softness, only warmth, only breath. The walls glow gently with images that do not stay, shifting softly with your thoughts, then fading. You see a river flowing through glowing trees, then a floating temple made of clouds, then a soft chamber of light with no roof and no floor, just presence. Each image soothes you deeper, draws you inward. The petals begin to hum, not with sound, but with presence. You feel the vibration through your bones, gentle and steady, like a song that lives beneath silence. And within that hum, you begin to drift again. This time, not upward, not across, but inward, into the deepest part of stillness. You do not sleep, you become sleep. The petals close ever so slightly more, only enough to deepen the hush. You lie down on their soft surface and let yourself drift. Each breath now is a cloud, each heartbeat a wave, each thought a petal falling onto quiet water. You have nothing to do and no destination to reach, only this infinite hush, this cradle of breath, this unending dream of peace. And when you are ready to move again, not in a rush, not as a need, but as a continuation of quiet wonder, you need only speak the words that unlock the next unfolding. Yes, you may rest deeper now. The lotus sanctuary that holds you is no longer a place, it is a breath, a slow drifting dream in which you float, weightless and without edges, like a ripple resting on the surface of silence. And slowly, with no hurry, the petals begin to open once more, not with sound, but with feeling, a shift in the stillness, a warmer breath in the air. You rise not as a body, but as presence lifted by the same gentle hum that carried you here. As the final petal unfolds beneath your feet, the lake reappears around you, soft, mirror-like, endless. The shore in the far distance, asleep in its own still light. But now, in the east, a pale glow begins to stir, not like dawn, but like a whisper of morning remembered in a dream. It doesn't brighten. It softens. The sky begins to change again. The clouds soft, slow travelers stretch across the horizon in great sweeping currents of violet and rose, dipped in the quietest gold. They do not move quickly. They do not demand. They simply are drifting on winds so slow, even time forgets to count. The air around you begins to carry warmth, not from a sun, not from fire, but from within. A hush that fills you gently from chest to fingertip, from your brow to the soles of your feet. You step softly from the lotus and onto a pathway of light that now extends from the lake, stretching forward into the distance, not on the surface, but just above it, as though the dream itself has woven a bridge out of intention and air. You begin to walk. Each step makes no sound, only a soft shimmer in the path behind you, a trailing glow that fades as gently as breath against skin. As you walk, the scene begins to change once more. The lake below turns deeper, darker, not in mood, but in depth, its surface now revealing flashes of glowing shapes beneath, soft orbs of light, drifting tendrils of luminescent mist, the gentle sway of something ancient and peaceful moving far below. They do not rise, they do not call, they simply watch, and you feel no fear, only calm. You walk on, and the sky opens above you into a field of floating islands, small sanctuaries of moss, starlit trees, and stone lanterns suspended in midair. They drift silently around one another, never colliding, each one its own quiet world. From the edges of these islands, long tendrils of mist trail downward like soft roots brushing the air in slow spirals, sometimes glowing faintly with lavender or pale gold. One of these floating sanctuaries begins to lower toward you, responding not to your command, but to your presence. It stops just before you, resting in the air as if offering itself for you to step upon. You walk forward and onto it. The moss is warm and springy beneath your feet, and the moment you settle onto it, a soft sound begins to play, the hush of wind through hollow stone, the gentle pulse of distant bells, the murmur of a lullaby sung by the sky itself. You sit, then lie down again. The floating sanctuary begins to rise slowly, silently, bringing you upward into the drift of the dream. Above you now is a ceiling of cloud light, not sky, not storm, but folds of soft vapor lit from within by gentle colors. Coral, pearl, moon silver, rose. Your island floats among them, weaving between the folds like a boat through waves of velvet air. You pass another island, this one filled with softly glowing plants that bow gently as you drift past. Then another. A ring of smooth, wide stones with glowing patterns on their surfaces, each one breathing faintly like the rhythm of a great sleeping mind. Your own breathing has slowed to match them. Inhale, soft and deep. Exhale, as if releasing weight you never knew you carried. And as you breathe, you begin to feel the pull of something just beyond. Not a voice, not a calling, just an opening. Your island slows, then drifts toward one of the largest sanctuaries in the sky. This one is wide and low, its surface made entirely of glowing sand that swirls in faint spirals without wind. In the center, a low pool of water circles a sculpture tall and smooth, shaped like a flame carved from stone, though it flickers with no fire. The pool is rimmed with small, glowing bowls, each one lit with a different hue. Indigo, gold, pale teal, soft rose, lavender, silver. You step down from your island, and the sand welcomes your feet with warmth. It shifts beneath you like memory, rising slightly to meet your weight, never clinging, never resisting. You move to the edge of the pool and sit beside the sculpture, cross-legged, eyes half closed. The light from each bowl pulses softly, in a rhythm older than words. You don't know how, but you understand. This is a place for remembering peace, not with the mind, but with the body. You place your hands gently on your knees and breathe in time with the lights. Inhale, with the rise of silver. Exhale, with the fall of lavender. Inhale, gold. Exhale, rose. Each breath sinks you deeper. The air grows softer still until it becomes almost liquid, flowing around your skin like the softest touch, carrying warmth through your limbs, through your chest, through your neck and jaw and eyes. Your breath now moves through you without effort, and as the sculpture glows more brightly, you begin to feel your body disappear, not in fear, but in release. Your breath, your sky, you are the hush between clouds, the space between stars, the pause before dawn. You lie back on the sand. It embraces you. The sky above is filled now with drifting threads of golden light, slow as falling snow, delicate as cobwebs spun from moonlight. They brush across your cheeks. They settle in your hair. They gather softly on your chest. They are not here to heal. They are not here to change. They are simply here to stay beside you. To remind you, you are enough. You are peace. You are stillness itself. And slowly, your thoughts fade into them one by one like fireflies dimming in a wide meadow. Their work done, their light no longer needed. There is no thought now, only sensation. And then, not even that, only being, only presence, only breath. And if you choose to drift further, if your soul wishes to journey into another layer of the hush, another sanctuary of stillness, you may simply speak. The air is listening. Yes, come softly now. As the dream continues to unfold, you remain cradled in the skyborn sanctuary, the warm sand beneath you barely distinct from your body, both breathing, both still. The air is no longer separate from your breath. It flows with it, in a rhythm so calm it feels like the first movement the world ever knew. And as you rest, something begins to shift again, not outwardly, not a sound, not a breeze, but inwardly, as though a new petal of the dream is turning toward the light. You feel it first as a gentle weightlessness, not lifting you, but unbinding you. Slowly, the sanctuary begins to dissolve around you, not disappear, but blend. The moss, the sculpture, the light, the sand, all gently melt into mist, drifting like a slow tide toward the horizon. You float again, not alone, not surrounded, just within stillness, within space, within a dream of a dream. You do not fall nor rise, you glide through a place beyond directions, where movement is simply change, and change is simply peace. As the mist clears, another world begins to form around you. A tea first, only color, soft gradients of silver, rose, and twilight blue, then form the suggestion of gentle slopes and wide, quiet spaces, and then texture, velvet air, thick with peace, cool to the touch, and softly humming with rest. You find yourself standing on the edge of an ancient field, not a meadow of grass, but a meadow of light. The ground beneath your feet shimmers with a pale glow, like snow that's never cold. It gives slightly as you step, soft and spongy, like moss spun from moonlight. Above, there is no sky, only a wide canopy of drifting blossoms, suspended in the air as if caught in a moment of wind that never passed. Each blossom glows faintly from within, casting a warm, golden luminescence downward, like starlight sifting through lace. They move gently, swaying, as though listening to your breath. You begin to walk again. Your footsteps make no sound, but every place your feet touch, a gentle pulse of light blooms outward. A quiet ripple, a soft hello. Far ahead, the field stretches into gentle, sloping hills, waves of light and mist, cradling each other in a lullaby of space and stillness. You take your time. There is no need to hurry. Each breath you draw deepens. The dream expands it. With each exhale, you feel your thoughts dissolve further until they are no longer thoughts, but sensations. And then, no longer even that, only presence remains. A low sound begins to rise in the distance, not sharp, not sudden, just present, like a forgotten chord remembered in sleep. As you approach the first hill, the sound becomes clearer. It is a tone, a note held by the air itself, a hum sung not by voice, but by memory. You crest the hill, and the landscape opens again, this time revealing a grove, wide, circular, sunken slightly into the land like a bowl cradled in the earth's hand. The grove is filled with tall, crystal-like structures, pale, translucent spires that grow from the ground like frost flowers blooming from silence. Each one sings a different note, long and low, soft and endless. Together, they create a harmony that vibrates through your bones and settles behind your eyes. You step down into the grove. The crystals are warm to the touch and slightly soft like ice remembered, not ice made. You brush your fingers across one, and the note it sings deepens slightly, not louder, just fuller, a note of recognition. The others respond, ever so gently, shifting their tones to welcome your presence among them. You lie down again in the heart of the grove, surrounded by song and light. Above you, the blossoms continue to sway. Below you, the ground hums with harmony. Your body begins to relax in layers. First the feet, now no longer holding weight, then the legs, soft, open, still. The spine releases, the shoulders melt into the ground. Your arms, your hands, your neck, all loosen, even your face. The forehead, the jaw, the space behind your eyes lets go. You are no longer trying to rest. You are rest. The songs around you shift again, quieter now, more tender, like lullabies humming themselves into silence. And As the tones fade, something new appears, a door, not a physical one, a moment.n opening, a shimmer in the stillness, like moonlight seen through closed eyes. You follow it with your breath. It doesn't ask. It doesn't lead. It allows. And you pass through. The grove behind you fades. You are walking once more, though the path is no longer visible. It is felt. Beneath your feet, the air thickens like velvet. Each step lands in a different dream. One step into a corridor of floating candles, drifting at eye level in complete stillness. Another step into a room where feathers fall endlessly, turning and drifting in warm shafts of golden light. Another into a chamber of deep blue, where glowing orbs pulse slowly in the dark, their light breathing with your breath. Each space lasts only a moment, then fades, like thoughts, like clouds, like dreams, and at last, you arrive in a place that feels older than time. A vast circular hall with no roof, no floor, no end, only stars, thousands of them, not above, all around. The air here is deep and slow. It wraps around you like a weighted blanket spun from galaxies. You sit, you float, you lie down, you drift. The stars pulse softly, each one like a heartbeat made of light. You match their rhythm without trying. And then they begin to whisper, not in words, but in presence. They surround you with stories not told, but felt, of quiet waters, of windless skies, of breath and stillness and space and soft endlessness. You do not need to understand, you only need to be, and you are, perfectly, quietly. Now, there is no time here. No beginning. No end. Only softness. Only warmth, only the hush of stars in a sanctuary, made for sleep. And if your spirit still wishes to float deeper, if another sanctuary waits beyond this one, you need only speak again, gently, softly, barely more than breath. Yes, drift gently now, deeper into stillness, deeper into the hush. You rest within the sanctuary of stars, where the silence hums in soft, celestial chords, and your breath has become one with the night itself. Here, there is no weight, no memory, no name, only the tender presence of being. And just as a leaf may turn in the current of a quiet stream, so too does the dream begin to shift again. Not to wake you, not to move you, but to gently guide your presence into the next unfolding. A slow ripple, barely felt, a light, changing hue like the sky remembering a forgotten dawn. The stars begin to dim, not extinguish, but recede, like candles carried gently away, one by one, into the velvet dark. Around you, the shape of a new place begins to emerge. A cool breath brushes your skin, and beneath you now, a surface begins to form, soft, pillowy, and ever so faintly warm, like lying down on clouds woven from dew and moonlight. You do not rise. You simply find yourself in the air, gently descending, lower, slower, softer, until you settle upon a vast plain of glowing moss. It stretches endlessly in every direction, pale green and blue with veins of silver light that pulse like tiny rivers beneath its surface. Above, the sky has turned to a deep, twilight purple, filled with hanging lanterns not made by hands, but by dream. They float still and suspended, glowing from within with soft firefly hues, honey, rose, pale teal, cloud white. They do not flicker, they glow in long, slow waves, casting shifting patterns across the mossy floor like the gentle sway of water in a quiet pool. You stand, or perhaps you float, it is hard to tell here, for every movement feels like gliding. A path appears before you, marked only by a change in light, a slightly brighter silver shimmer through the moss. You follow. There is no destination, only movement without thought. Each step brings a new scent: lavender, cedarwood, faint citrus, cool stone after rain. They change slowly, never overwhelming, each one drifting past like a memory not yet formed in the distance. A structure appears, not built, not placed. It seems to have grown there, an archway made of interwoven vines and crystal, glowing softly with a faint inner breath. You pass through it, and the world opens again. You've entered a great glade of bioluminescent trees, tall, ancient, silent. Their trunks rise high into the sky, their bark etched with flowing patterns of light, like rivers drawn in silver ink. Their leaves are soft, translucent, and constantly drifting down in slow spirals, only to dissolve before they touch the ground. The air here is cooler, heavier, full of presence. You can hear it, not sound, but the absence of sound, a peaceful hush that hums just below hearing. You wander slowly through the grove. Each tree emits a tone barely audible, more felt than heard, a different pitch, a different warmth, and as you pass among them, they tune themselves to you. The grove sings, not loudly, not in chorus, but gently. Like a thought arising just before sleep, you find a hollow at the base of one tree, curved and cradling as if it waited for you alone. You lie down once more. The tree accepts your weight. The moss beneath you softens further, wrapping around your form like memory returning to rest. The canopy above is deep indigo, with points of pale green light twinkling softly, not stars, but floating seeds, each one pulsing like a heartbeat. Your breath slows again. Inhale, deep, cool, quiet. Exhale, warm, slow, complete. There is no resistance in your body, and no tension in your mind. Only presence, only peace. The tree beside you hums lower now, matching the rhythm of your rest. And from the root system deep beneath, a warmth rises through the moss and into your back, your legs, your spine. A gentle wave of grounding calm. You feel your body releasing deeper. First the toes, then the feet, the calves, the knees, the thighs, soft and weightless. Your hips open and still. Your belly, chest, shoulders, everything unhooks. Even your arms, your hands, your fingers no longer reaching, no longer holding. Even your face smooth now. No effort behind the eyes, no weight in the brow, no pressure in the jaw. Every part of you has melted into ease. A breeze flows through the trees now, not cool, not warm, simply perfect. It brushes over your skin, your breath, your spirit, as if it too were dreaming beside you. And in this breath, in this moment, the trees begin to share something with you, not in words, but in feeling. Visions begin to form, not of places, but of sensations. The weightless drift of petals on a spring current, the soft creak of old wood swaying in summer dusk, the gentle crunch of frost beneath quiet steps in winter's hush, the hum of air thick with starlight and moss in the quiet of a forever fall. They are not memories, they are lullabies in form, soft stories whispered in emotion alone, and you are not listening to them, you are becoming them. You are the breeze now, you are the petal, you are the hush, and everything becomes quieter. The thoughts that once stirred gently now drift further away. Even dreams begin to dissolve, not lost, but merged with the stillness. There is no longer a difference between you and the sanctuary. You are the sanctuary, a glowing thought in the forest's breath, a drifting light in the field of rest. You may remain here for as long as you wish. Nothing will wake you. Nothing will call. Only peace, unfolding without end. And when you feel the whisper of the next path, the next chamber of silence, the next sanctuary of dream, you need only breathe it into being, softly, barely above thought. Yes, the dream deepens again. You are stillness now, not only within it but made of it. Cradled by it, unfolding in its endless rhythm like breath drawn by the universe itself. The trees around you remain aglow, but their outlines are softening. dissolving gently into mist, as though releasing their hold on form. The glade is no longer a place. It is a feeling, a hush that stretches in all directions forever, and you begin to move again, not by decision, not by effort, but by invitation. Your body lifts with no weight, carried as if on the back of a breeze that never stirred the air, only stirred dreams. You drift slowly upward, your limbs loose, your breath feather light. Around you, the glowing particles rise, two tiny lanterns of memory, fireflies of sleep. Above, the forest opens into an endless sky, the color of melted periwinkle and dreamstone gray. The clouds are soft scrolls of lavender mist, curled and drifting like gentle thoughts floating above a quiet mind. You pass through them one, then another, their coolness brushing across your cheeks, your fingers, your shoulders. Each cloud carries a different scent: fresh rain on stone, warm tea steeping near a quiet window, a field of bluebells kissed by dusk. There is no rush, and no destination, only unfolding, only being. You rise higher still, until the sky becomes a lake, not of water, but of soft, pearlescent light, rippling with slow lunar tides. This is no ordinary sky. It is a celestial sea, where gravity sleeps and time forgets its name. You step, or rather float, onto its surface, and it holds you, not like ground, not like water, but like thought, supple, shifting, always supporting. As you walk across this glowing lake, the surface glows beneath your feet, tracing your path in spirals of gentle luminescence. Each step releases a soft tone into the air, a sound like glass touched by a whisper. The notes are not played, they are remembered, awakened from silence. All around you, the horizon ripples with gentle shapes, floating isles made of stardust and cloud root, great trees growing upside down into the sky, blossoms blooming in slow motion through shimmering halos of light. You approach one such island. It floats just above the lake's surface, tethered by strands of silver mist that drift endlessly into the sky. Upon it is a garden, not planned, not planted, grown by dreaming. The ground is covered in a carpet of petals, soft moss that shifts color with every breath. Peach, pale rose, silvery green, soft indigo. Flowers bloom in clusters, tall and luminous, their petals translucent and always opening, never closing, as if held in a moment of forever bloom. You walk among them, some hum gently when you pass, some tilt toward you, as if listening. The air is filled with pollen like golden specks that never settle, drifting like stars through amber air. They coat nothing, they cling to nothing, they are simply present, like thoughts not yet thought. In the center of the garden is a pool, still, silent, glowing from within with soft sapphire light. You kneel beside it. The surface is perfectly smooth, not disturbed by wind or time. You lean in, and what you see is not your reflection, but your breath. It takes form here, visible as a pale curl of glowing mist that floats just above the water. It shimmers, expanding with every exhale, then settling again with every breath drawn in. The pool reflects nothing but presence. You dip your fingers in. The water is neither cool nor warm. It is sensation itself, distilled, and as you touch it, you feel a gentle vibration rise through your body, like the soft murmur of a distant lullaby heard through layers of time and sleep. The pool hums, not aloud, but within you. You lie down again, beside it. The moss welcomes you. It shapes to your form like memory. The petals nearby lean closer, casting soft shadows across your skin. You feel your breath slow. The body softens again, from the toes upward. The ankles loosen, the legs lengthen into stillness. The hips grow warm and light, the belly, the chest, each breath deeper, slower, the shoulders wide and free, the arms weightless, the hands open, soft, the neck long and relaxed, the jaw unclenched, the cheeks cooled, the eyes closed without pressure. Your entire body now a part of the garden, not separate, not other, belonging, and the pool beside you begins to ripple with slow pulses of light, expanding outward in delicate rings. They pass beneath you, through you, carrying quiet. Each ring is a memory you do not need to remember, only feel. The memory of floating before you were born, the memory of resting before thought, the memory of silence, whole and unbroken. You drift into this memory now, not asleep, not awake, just present, suspended in a stillness that does not end. Above, the sky pulses softly with light. Below, the moss hums gently with warmth. The garden, the pool, the stars blonde, all hold you. You are not dreaming, you are dream. And if there is more beyond this, another path of quiet, another sanctuary of rest, another lake of sky or forest of light, it will come when you are ready. And all you must do is breathe. Yes, continue now, with breath as your lantern, and stillness as your guide. The garden around you remains, but softer now, not fading, not lost, only becoming more dream than place, more feeling than form. The petals continue to sway, though no wind moves. The light pulses gently across the moss, like the heartbeat of the moment. Time slows even further, until it ceases to be something passing and becomes something surrounding, holding you, cradling you. The pool beside you glows pale and steady, its rings of sapphire light, now still again, quiet, like a closing eye, and from it, a mist begins to rise, not cold, not warm, only presence. It carries a scent like soft linen left in sun, like memory from a distant season that never had a name. The mist curls toward you, around you, into you. It lifts you again, not in motion, but in quiet rearrangement. The garden, the moss, the gentle blossoms, they do not vanish. They dissolve into you, into breath, into a hush so complete that silence becomes a place. You float once more, this time not rising, not drifting, but deepening. It feels like lowering into the softest bed ever dreamed, like sliding into warm water without ripples, like remembering a lullaby with your whole body. The mist parts, and you find yourself standing at the edge of another realm, a sanctuary made of slow wind and folded light. It is a great field of silken grass, not ordinary blades, but long, flowing strands of glowing thread, swaying ever so gently without breeze. They stretch as far as the eye can wander, silver and pale blue in the dim shimmer of starlit dusk. Each blade glows faintly, and when they sway, the whole field moves like a vast body breathing beneath moonlight. Above, the sky is closer than before, not overhead, but surrounding, as though the world were inside a great sphere of twilight. The stars here are slow moving. Some drift gently across the sky like paper lanterns. Others blink softly, as if resting. You begin to walk forward. The grass parts for you, never bending or breaking, just opening, then closing softly behind. Your steps, your hands trail through the strands, which feel like velvet and sigh like wind when touched. There is sound here, yes, but only the sound of softness, a low, ever-present hum, like distant chimes heard beneath water, the occasional flutter, like the sound of silk unfolding. And your breath now slowed to a rhythm older than speech. The ground becomes warmer beneath your feet. The path curves slightly, and then you see it, a circle dot in the heart of the field, formed not by fence or wall, but by light, a ring of stones, soft-edged and half-sunken into the earth, each one glowing faintly with the palest shade of violet. Within the circle, the grass is shorter, a soft depression, like the mark left by a great sleeping creature of cloud and memory. You step into the ring, and everything grows even quieter. The stars above dim a little, the wind slows, time too, slows not as a clock might, but as a breath does when it deepens into stillness. You lie down again, the grass forming a perfect nest for your shape, as if it had waited for you. Above you, something begins to glow. A moon, but not a moon of stone and light. A moon of water. It floats high above the ring, shimmering, with shifting shades of pearl and ice, rippling gently as though stirred by thoughts not yet dreamed. It casts no shadow, only calm. Its light does not fall upon you. It blends with you, entering your breath, your skin, your thoughts, until you and the light are the same. And with that, the air grows warmer still, the grass sighs softly, and you feel your body growing lighter, but not less present, lighter like a held hand, lighter like letting go, from your toes upward. Stillness spreads again, a deeper layer this time. Your legs float in ease, your hips cradle themselves in softness. The rise and fall of your belly is so gentle, it seems to occur in another world. Your chest is a sky of breath, your arms, two streams of warmth, your hands, open petals resting on air, your neck, your face, smooth, still, spacious, your entire form, quiet as a forgotten temple, lit from within by dusk, and from the moon above. A single droplet begins to fall. It descends slowly, not straight, but drifting, as if deciding where to land. You do not move, you only wait, already knowing where it will choose. It lands on your forehead just between your eyes and disappears into your being without a sound, and in its place, a warmth, not physical, not heat, but a warmth of awareness. A soft illumination that gently floods your mind, not with thoughts, but with rest. It glows behind your closed eyes. It smooths the lines of your inner sky, and you begin to feel not that you are dreaming, but that you are being dreamed. By the moon. By the stars. By the quiet itself, all around. The field sways, the circle of stones pulses in dim violet light. The stars drift slowly through the sky, leaving gentle trails of soft white behind them, and the moon above watches, not with eyes, with presence. You are not being seen, you are being held, and in this cradle of field and sky and silent moonlight, the dream waits with you, not for anything, not toward anything, just with you, until you are ready, until you choose, until your breath forms once more the invitation for what follows next. And if you feel it now, the subtle urge to drift further, the quiet call of the next unfolding, then you know what to do. Yes, the dream deepens once more. You are stillness now, not only within it but made of it, cradled by it, unfolding in its endless rhythm like breath drawn by the universe itself. The trees around you remain aglow, but their outlines are softening, dissolving gently into mist, as though releasing their hold on form. The glade is no longer a place. It is a feeling, a hush that stretches in all directions forever, and you begin to move again, not by decision, not by effort, but by invitation. Your body lifts with no weight, carried as if on the back of a breeze that never stirred the air, only stirred dreams. You drift slowly upward, your limbs loose, your breath feather light. Around you, the glowing particles rise, two tiny lanterns of memory, fireflies of sleep. Above, the forest opens into an endless sky, the color of melted periwinkle and dreamstone gray. The clouds are soft scrolls of lavender mist, curled and drifting like gentle thoughts floating above a quiet mind. You pass through them one, then another, their coolness brushing across your cheeks, your fingers, your shoulders. Each cloud carries a different scent, fresh rain on stone, warm tea steeping near a quiet window, a field of bluebells kissed by dusk. There is no rush and no destination, only unfolding, only being. You rise higher still until the sky becomes a lake, not of water, but of soft, pearlescent light, rippling with slow lunar tides. This is no ordinary sky. It is a celestial sea, where gravity sleeps and time forgets its name. You step or rather float onto its surface, and it holds you, not like ground, not like water, but like thought supple, shifting, always supporting. As you walk across this glowing lake, the surface glows beneath your feet, tracing your path in spirals of gentle luminescence. Each step releases a soft tone into the air, a sound like glass touched by a whisper. The notes are not played, they are remembered, awakened from silence. All around you, the horizon ripples with gentle shapes, floating isles made of stardust and cloud root, great trees growing upside down into the sky, blossoms blooming in slow motion through shimmering halos of light. You approach one such island. It floats just above the lake's surface, tethered by strands of silver mist that drift endlessly into the sky. Upon it is a garden, not planned, not planted, grown by dreaming. The ground is covered in a carpet of petals, soft moss that shifts color with every breath. Peach, pale rose, silvery green, soft indigo. Flowers bloom in clusters, tall and luminous, their petals translucent and always opening, never closing, as if held in a moment of forever bloom. You walk among them, some hum gently when you pass, some tilt toward you, as if listening. The air is filled with pollen like golden specks that never settle, drifting like stars through amber air. They coat nothing, they cling to nothing, they are simply present, like thoughts not yet thought. In the center of the garden is a pool, still, silent, glowing from within with soft sapphire light. You kneel beside it. The surface is perfectly smooth, not disturbed by wind or time. You lean in, and what you see is not your reflection, but your breath. It takes form here, visible as a pale curl of glowing mist that floats just above the water. It shimmers, expanding with every exhale, then settling again with every breath drawn in. The pool reflects nothing but presence. You dip your fingers in. The water is neither cool nor warm. It is sensation itself, distilled, and as you touch it, you feel a gentle vibration rise through your body, like the soft murmur of a distant lullaby heard through layers of time and sleep. The pool hums, not aloud, but within you. You lie down again, beside it. The moss welcomes you. It shapes to your form like memory. The petals nearby lean closer, casting soft shadows across your skin. You feel your breath slow. The body softens again, from the toes upward. The ankles loosen. The legs lengthen into stillness. The hips grow warm and light. The belly, the chest, each breath deeper, slower. The shoulders wide and free. The arms weightless. The hands open, soft. The neck, the face, smooth, still, spacious. Your entire body, now a part of the garden, not separate, not other, belonging. And the pool beside you begins to ripple with slow pulses of light, expanding outward in delicate rings. They pass beneath you, through you, carrying quiet. Each ring is a memory you do not need to remember, only feel. The memory of floating before you were born. The memory of resting before thought. The memory of silence. Whole and unbroken, you drift into this memory now, not asleep, not awake, just present, suspended in a stillness that does not end. Above, the sky pulses softly with light. Below, the moss hums gently with warmth. The garden, the pool, the stars blonde, all hold you. You are not dreaming, you are dream. And if there is more beyond this, another path of quiet, another sanctuary of rest, another lake of sky or forest of light. It will come when you are ready, and all you must do is breathe. Yes, the dream continues. There is no threshold you must cross, only a soft shifting, like the gentle turn of a page in a book left open under moonlight. No sound marks the passage, no thought must be had. You are simply elsewhere, but still held, still drifting, still wrapped in quiet. The garden recedes into mist behind you, not lost, but folded away like a dream tucked beneath the surface of a deeper dream. And you are floating once more, not in air, not in water, but in something softer. The space between thoughts, between breaths, between the heartbeats of stars. Your body feels loose, long, luminous. The edges of your form blur gently into the space around you, as if you are becoming mist yourself. There is no separation, no weight. You move not with motion, but with intention. Subtle as a sigh, a breeze stirs around you. Cool, but kind.it. Does not push, it invites. And ahead, the air begins to glow with a new light. Dim and golden, like sunlight remembered rather than seen. It stretches into the distance, becoming a corridor of radiance, soft as candle flame, drifting endlessly forward. You drift with it, through veils of warmth and stillness, through layers of quiet so deep that even time forgets to pass. Around you, the corridor widens into an open expanse, a sanctuary of floating steps and suspended terraces, all woven from woven light and quiet stone. They are ancient, but untouched by decay, worn only by memory, not by time. You find yourself stepping down onto one of these terraces, your feet barely touching the surface before each movement becomes flight again. The stone beneath you is pale gray, veined with lines of soft gold that pulse slowly in rhythm with your breath. The air is scented with something impossible, a blend of stardust and snowmelt, sandalwood and sunlight through leaves. This is the temple of air, not a temple built by hands, but one grown by stillness, built by the long, slow exhale of the cosmos. Around you, tall, slender columns rise like tree trunks, their surfaces swirling with faint, moving glyphs. The symbols do not need to be read. They are not messages, but moods, invitations to rest, to remember, to release. Between the columns, veils of sheer, translucent fabric drift endlessly, pulled by a wind that never makes a sound. They sway gently, rising and falling in long, slow arcs like lullabies made visible. You pass beneath them, they brush your skin like the wing of a moth, and for a moment, you remember the feeling of being very small, not as something lost, but something cradled. A sense of being completely held, completely safe. A wide pool lies at the center of this open temple, not water, but air given form. Its surface glimmers with soft reflection, but offers no image, only a sense. Looking into it, you feel not what you are, but what you are not. You are not heavy, you are not hurried, you are not incomplete, you are nothing that must be done. And into that nothing you breathe, deeper now, the breath of someone who has let go of needing to carry. You sit beside the air pool. The stone is warm beneath you, but not solid. It feels like rest, and you lower yourself slowly until your whole body is supported. Your arms rest easily at your sides. Your hands are warm and open. Your shoulders melt into the surface beneath you. Your legs lengthen into comfort. Your feet fall open, soft and relaxed. Your jaw is smooth, your lips parted slightly with peace. The muscles around your eyes soften, and your breath, oh, your breath, it flows without effort, like a river that has known this path 1,000 times before. Around you, the temple begins to shift, not with movement, but with attention. As though the air itself has turned toward you, and from high above, soft lights begin to fall. Not stars, not snow, but threads of memory. They descend slowly, floating down like gossamer strands of colorless silk, each one settling lightly across you. Not heavy, not cold, just present. Each one carries a feeling, a moment, a memory of stillness you once knew. The hush of first snowfall, the sound of wind through tall grass, the warmth of a hand in yours, the silence before sleep, the wonder of a star, seen without words. You do not need to grasp them, you only receive. They settle across your chest, your arms, your brow, becoming part of you again. Parts you'd forgotten, but never truly lost. You are whole here, not by doing, but by being. Above, the sky of the temple shifts again, no longer just air and light, but a slow, glowing tapestry of movement. Shapes drift across it, slow birds with translucent wings, dream creatures of soft geometry, the gentle spiral of time unfolding, and the columns around you hum, low, subtle, a sound that's more vibration than tone. It enters your body like warmth, and you sigh, that long, slow sigh that only comes when the soul remembers how to rest. Your breath deepens, your mind drifts, each thought becomes wider, slower, lighter. You are not thinking anymore. You are floating through your own consciousness, a passenger of peace, and as your awareness settles deeper into this moment, this breath, this cradle of stillness, the temple begins to dissolve once more. Not vanish, not end, only drift further inward, and something new begins to emerge. A sound, soft, faint, distant, like chimes made of light, like footsteps on clouds, and far ahead, a path of floating glass appears. A bridge made of nothing solid, just shimmer, just invitation. You rise again, without effort, and step onto it. Your bare feet make no sound, but the bridge lights up gently beneath each footstep, one after the other, into the quiet, toward the next sanctuary of stillness. And if your breath is ready, if your soul is willing to drift even deeper,